I'd like to begin by welcoming everybody to the second episode of season 4 of Sundays with 200 Million Artisans. A very, very warm welcome to everybody on our multiple platforms. If you are on Instagram or on Facebook and you'd like to join us on Zoom, please do so. We have all our details are on our posts and our respective handles. So hop on to Zoom, you'll be able to ask questions and interact with our speaker, Shashank, and ourselves today. It's just more interactive. But if you're more comfortable on social media, continue, but we're just glad that you're here today. Just to start by telling you a little bit about who we are, 200 Million Artisans is a volunteer-run COVID-19 response platform that supports India's artisan producers. They assist verified craft-based organizations by featuring fundraisers and initiatives that can be publicly supported. They also drive innovative collaborations to help India's artisans and craft communities. Please check them out on their website and follow them on social media for more details on what they are doing and how each one of you can be a part of it. This is a series, Sundays with 200 Million Artisans is a collaborative series where they collaborate with various organizations per season. This is the 4th season and we have titled it, Does It Matter Real? We are talking about materials, and the collaboration this time is with Unplugged Talks. Unplugged Talks is a virtual platform that provides an opportunity for public engagement with creative minds from across international cultural landscapes. Insightful and candid conversations about personal journeys, explorations, experiences, anecdotes that allow us to demystify the illustrious image associated with creative masters and encourages a deeper understanding of their vision. This repository of lesser documented narratives shall feed into a larger idea of a realistic ecosystem relevant to the 21st century post-carbon society. We imagine a platform free from marketplace heroics and one which is open to critical public participation. So the Unplugged Talks is initiating an environment of a collective and ethical cultural evolution. We've had 9 conversations till now, and we are looking forward to many, many more conversations with creative minds from across the world. This is an initiative by Matra Architects and co-curated by Virendra Baklu and myself. I am Rinalini Gadyok. I'm an architect, a writer, and researcher, and I will be your host for tonight. We have somebody very special with us today, and you might know him as an architect, as a designer, but probably as Mianzi Global. Shashank Gautam has been trained at the at SPA in Delhi and did his master's in industrial design from IDC, which is IIT Bombay. With a drive to build sustainable products that can revive our heritage and vanishing craftsmanship, he established Mianzi to revolutionize the way bamboo is seen and used by bringing eco-friendly yet inventive and aesthetic bamboo-built options in furniture, lifestyle products, bicycles, and also architecture in the near future. So please join me in welcoming Shashank. Thank you so much for taking out time on a Sunday evening and joining us for this, what we hope to be a fabulous conversation ahead.
Thank you, Mrilandi, for giving such a lovely introduction of myself. Yeah, and absolutely, I would love to do that. I mean, I would love to conversate about our company Mianzi and how we love to take material bamboo as a material to,
Yes, we are very excited to talk about bamboo, to talk about what you're doing with it, and the fact that you're an architect and you've taken your education in architecture, you've honed it in an education in industrial design, and you have built not just a collection of products, but what you've done is you've actually built an enterprise and you're working with artisans and craftspeople to create what is now a global sort of platform using bamboo. It's interesting because we can see behind you, you've got one of your first lamps that you designed.
Yes. So this was the lamp. So this was the initial prototype which I made in 2019, and this was got displayed in Design by Design, where we got selected in 40 under 35, sorry, in 2019. So it's been like just 2 years since when we have started this company. So
Okay.
so as you said, I'm an architect. So I started myself by doing architecture. After doing my architecture degree, then I moved on to industrial design. I found my interest in this particular material. So I mean, ताकि मुझे मतलब इस मटेरियल में मतलब धीरे धीरे इतना पैशन क्रिएट हो गया. आई फेल्ट दैट आई शुड डेडिकेट माई सेल्फ टू दिस मटेरियल एंड वर्क माई होल life into it.
But tell me,
Yeah.
Shashank, you told me that you had started to explore with bamboo as a material while you were still in architecture, right? And at that time
Yes.
only you'd kind of discovered it as a product, as a material, and you'd started exploring. So what were your first sort of interactions with bamboo? Why bamboo?
Yeah. So there was a competition when I was in third year when I was doing my architecture. So the competition was everything about that competition was sustainability, at that time. So we thought that why can't we choose bamboo as a material to build up a building of zero carbon energy? So this competition was held by IGBC at that time. So what we did was we just, we were obviously nervous about that competition, and just we sat on a night and we sketched out something, and something came out. And this was just a sketch. If I'm allowed, I can show you one of the pictures.
Yes, please. We'd love to see what you've got.
Okay.
You can just share your screen.
Can you just allow me to share it? I mean, I'm not getting the share option on my screen.
Done. Try it now.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So we've had Shashank line up a couple of visuals for us so that he can share what they're doing. There's some fabulous products and stories behind each of these products that Shashank's going to share with us. So
yeah,
it'll be great to see some of the work. Yeah.
So yeah, that was the sketch which I made when I was in my third year, when I was doing my architecture. So this was the design I made at that time. Or matlab, luckily we won that award. So matlab, these are few of the pictures of those.
So this was the beginning of your journey with bamboo.
Exactly. And matlab, I realized कि matlab this is something जो matlab बाकी material से बिल्कुल ही अलग है. तो so it had some kind of spark. तो वो धीरे धीरे मेरे अंदर build up होते गया, and that was the first interaction with this.
जब धीरे धीरे ये spark build हो रहा था, so how come it didn't kind of translate into architecture? Why product? So after your architectural education, you got into IIT and you started doing product. You specialize in industrial design. So why didn't you go into architecture with bamboo? Because there's a lot that's going on, and at that time also, and I think we're talking about what, 2012, around that time.
Right.
There was a lot going on internationally, right, with bamboo.
Yes. Most of them was in Bali and Colombia, as Viren said. Yeah. So after doing my architecture, I always used to make some kind of products for myself, which I can use which I can use myself. So at that time, when I got graduated and when I was practicing architecture as an architect, when I was doing my job, I used to commute with my bicycle, and I made that bicycle out of bamboo. तो मुझे लगा कि why can't I integrate bicycle with this material? It has that strength and flexibility. Why can't I do that? So I made that thing. Even
was that the first
that photograph
that you made?
Yes, absolutely. So that photograph is with me. I documented everything. So I just wanted to share it with you. So this was the bicycle at that
oh wow
time when I made it. So yeah, it's
that's
kind
impressive.
It's frugal at that moment, but I mean, it was so lightweight, and the vibration damping of this bicycle was really great. So yeah.
So this was kind of like your
that was my
foray
first
into product
so,
design in bamboo.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So then I realized that okay, I'm finding my passion into product design as well. So why can't I try doing industrial design?
So tell
Yeah.
us what was happening since you'd kind of started, you had already developed an interest with bamboo as a construction material, whether it
Mhm.
was architecture or whether it was product. What was happening, or what was the state of bamboo as a material being used in India versus what was happening globally? Was there a lot of inspiration that you could derive from what was happening around you, or was it a struggle?
Uh, Actually, I haven't been looking onto these. I mean, what was happening domestically or internationally at that time. But what I realized that why can't people are using this material? I mean, this material is so good, and I mean, it's so. I mean, the characteristics of this bamboo as a
Hmm.
material is so impressive. Why aren't the people are using it to make
So actually,
products or doing architecture out of it?
tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about bamboo. For those of us who are not familiar with the product, tell us what are the advantages of using bamboo?
See, what you are currently getting as an industrial thing, if you'll see in the market, like I'm talking about the sections, the industrial sections out of which we make buildings out of it,
Hmm.
and let's say huge structural framework. Let's say if we want to make. So what do you get? You get I sections, then circular beams. Those sections you get in market, but this is naturally obtained. This bamboo as
Hmm.
bamboo is naturally obtained. This is a naturally extruded thing. So that's what I realized कि मतलब why can't we use this as a material. So and even the fibers in this material goes really straight,
Hmm.
मतलब कहीं भी move नहीं करता है. So structurally it really helps actually to take loads, and also there are in between there are nodes जो
Hmm.
मतलब एक दूसरे को it
It's
kind of.
almost like a bracing, no?
यस यस और मतलब कैसे बोलते हैं, मतलब किसी को बांध देने के जैसा हो
Hmm.
जाता है बीच
Hmm.
में. सो इतना स्ट्रक्चरली क्लासिकल मटेरियल आपको नेचर में मिल रहा है, तो व्हाई आरंट वी आर यूजिंग दिस.
Yeah.
सो या दैट्स व्हाट. तो यही है मतलब that's why I'm very surprised with this material. Or matlab there are a lot of things which are still to explore on this.
So then after your architecture, you went to IIT, you did product design, you graduated, and but
Yes.
you were not working with bamboo at that time. So professionally, you chose to join a company that was doing commercial product design, industrial design, right?
Yes. But when I was doing my industrial design, I also explored with bamboo as well. The butterfly chair, what you're seeing currently,
Mm-hmm.
that was made during my internship.
Okay.
So I was working in an NGO as an intern. तो उस टाइम भी ये प्रोडक्ट कंसीव हुआ था, दिस
ये
बटरफ्लाई चेयर.
कब की बात
पर
है ये?
दिस वाज इन 2013.
While
Sorry,
you were
14.
while you
14.
were at IIT.
Yes, this was in
Okay.
2014.
Hmm.
हाँ, तो मतलब फिर भी मैं मतलब बैम्बू को लेकर उतना काम नहीं कर रहा था. मतलब पीछे उतना काम नहीं हो रहा था, पर मैं बैम्बू एज अ मटेरियल एक्सप्लोर कर रहा था. पर मैं उतना पैशनेट नहीं था कि चलो मैं लाइफ टाइम पूरा इसके साथ काम करूंगा, ऐसा नहीं था उस टाइम. पर मतलब eventually I realized कि मतलब I have made a portfolio of bamboo products. वो मुझे बाद में पता चला. The bicycle, what I've uh, showed you,
Hmm.
then this butterfly chair. ठीक है. So ये एक पोर्टफोलियो बनते जा रहा था. तो मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगा कि शायद मेरे अंदर बैम्बू को लेकर कुछ है, तो मुझे करना चाहिए इसमें ट्राई. So
ये
then
realization
that's
कब
when I
आई
started.
कि
When I got graduated from IDC, and I was working as an industrial designer in few of the companies. I got placed in Clove Studio, by the way, at that time.
okay.
Yeah. एंड जो मतलब ऑफिस के बाद जो भी टाइम मिलता था मतलब आई स्पेंड माई टाइम विद दिस मटेरियल, तो मतलब मैं करते रहता था, कुछ ना कुछ बनाते रहता था. इवन दैट बाईसाइकिल जो मैंने उस टाइम पे बनाया था जो अपने स्कूल में, वो मैं यहाँ पे ले आया था दिल्ली. तो वो मतलब बेसिक अपना जो कम्यूट करने के लिए, ऑफिस जाने के लिए. तो आई मीन इट वाज लाइक रियली इम्प्रेसिव, और लोग देखते थे तो वो एक अच्छा फील देता था.
So I have to
तो
say, and I have to tell the audience at this
राइट.
point that, Shashank's story is also a little bit like, दिन में तो ठीक है हम काम कर रहे हैं, and what was the name of the company? Dismania was where you were working
Yeah,
during the day.
Desmania. Yes, Desmania is one of the I mean the renowned product design company in India. I mean most of the let's say electrical appliances company, they used to outsource their design to this. For example,
Okay.
Whirlpool and Voltas and all. शायद मुझे पता बोलना नहीं चाहिए इस पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म में, पर ठीक है.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying that, so during the day you were working over there and you were doing this commercial design, and
Yes.
by the night, if I can take the liberty of saying that, you were running a workshop in a studio in your own home where you were making products out of bamboo. Not only that, but you had started to innovate with machinery and trying to kind of figure out how you can cut and bend, and how you can explore bamboo further with different equipment. So all of this kind of, it's like a homegrown sort of a brand, and it's a homegrown process that you went through.
Yes, absolutely correct. When I realized कि मतलब इसके साथ कुछ किया जा सकता है, मतलब बैम्बू एज अ मटेरियल उसको लेकर इसको कमर्शियलाइज किया जा सकता है, और उसके साथ मतलब इंडिया में इतने सारे आर्टिसंस हैं, उनसे हेल्प लेकर भी मतलब शायद एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन खोला जा सकता है. व्हेन आई रियलाइज दैट, सो आई स्टार्टेड मेकिंग अ रेंज आउट ऑफ इट. तो व्हाइल आई वाज वर्किंग इन डस्मानिया, तो जो भी मुझे टाइम मिलता था, मतलब ऑफिस से आने के बाद और ऑफिस जाने से पहले के 2 घंटे, मतलब those 2 hours in the morning and 4 hours after office, तो उन टाइम में मैं पूरा अपनी मतलब वो टाइम पूरा स्पेंड करता था इसमें प्रोडक्ट रेंज निकालने के लिए. एंड इवन आई स्पेंट ऑल माय सेविंग्स एंड बाइंग ऑल द मशीनरी एंड ऑल. अगर आप मेरे कभी फ्लैट आकर देखोगे तो सारे मशीन से भरे होंगे. एंड आई स्टार्टेड ट्वीकिंग इट, क्योंकि बैम्बू और वुड 2 अलग अलग मटेरियल है, तो बैम्बू के लिए मशीन्स उतने बने नहीं है अभी तक अनफॉर्चुनेटली, पर बनेंगे शायद आगे. तो मुझे कुछ ना कुछ ट्वीक करना पड़ता था. तो आई स्टार्टेड मेकिंग अ रेंज, और एक बार जब मैंने एक रेंज जब मेरे पास आ गया, तब मुझे लगा कि नहीं, अब इसको शुरू करना चाहिए. देन डिजाइन बाय डिजाइन 30 under 35 in that I got selected, और वहाँ हमारा पहला पब्लिक लॉन्च था मियांजी का.
So, Shashank, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about the difference between bamboo and wood, because a lot of people feel that bamboo is a kind of wood, right? Which is not incorrect in looking at it that way. But there are vast differences between the two, just the way that they're treated, the way they're used in making products.
Yes.
Even traditionally, the way they are processed to make furniture or products, there is a big difference. And I think that's what's also important, is that when you started working with bamboo, at that time, there wasn't any available, or there wasn't much available sort of sources for you to tap, or equipment for you to use, or people for you to speak to. Or did you kind of find that support that you needed, or the guidance that you needed at that point, or were you just kind of had to make things up as you went along?
First, I'll answer your question about, I mean, what's the difference between wood and bamboo? So it's actually starts how it grows. ठीक है. बैम्बू और वुड मतलब दोनों का ग्रोथ होने का तरीका बहुत अलग है. मतलब वुड इट गेट्स मैच्योर इन 35 to 40 years, और वुड और बैम्बू जो है वो सिर्फ 5 साल में मैच्योर हो जाता है. ठीक है, मतलब तो इट शूट्स एक्चुअली, मतलब बहुत फास्ट उसका ग्रोथ रेट है। आई मीन इस बैम्बू का एक गिनीज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड भी है जो लाइक 3 feet इन अ डे का ग्रोथ रिकॉर्ड किया गया है। 3 feet in a day. I mean, it's
That's incredible.
really amazing. Yes. तो there's certain kind of species यहाँ पे तो इंडिया में नहीं है, शायद कोलंबिया में इसको रिकॉर्ड किया गया था। Then तो ये एक डिफरेंस है। दूसरा डिफरेंस है, it produces like 30% more oxygen than wood. That's the another difference. Then other difference is the strength. And the strength in bamboo, what you will get is, I'm talking about per cubic centimeter. If you compare it with wood, there's a vast difference. मतलब if you'll multiply by 10, तब वो bamboo का strength को compare कर पाएगा। तो in strength wise, wood से काफी ज़्यादा strong है। I'm talking about per cubic centimeter. That's because of the grains that moves in bamboo. You know, the grains are really very straight. And it's dense. तो इन दोनों में ये काफी ज्यादा डिफरेंस होने के वजह से इसका स्ट्रेंथ बहुत ज्यादा है बैम्बू का।
तो फिर लोग ज्यादा यूज क्यों नहीं करते बैम्बू को?
बैम्बू को यूज इंडिया में खासकर ये, अगर मैं हिस्ट्री के बारे में थोड़ा सा बात करूं, ये बैम्बू का यूज जो डिक्लाइन होना शुरू हुआ वो ब्रिटिशर्स के बाद हुआ। ब्रिटिशर्स ने इंपोर्ट करना ज्यादा शुरू किया था ब्रिटिश के आने के बाद, और वुड का इंपोर्ट बहुत ज्यादा होता था। इससे पहले हम बैम्बू काफी यूज करते थे इंडिया में खासकर। मतलब इवन बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन में, फर्नीचर्स में बैम्बू हर जगह यूज होता था। पर ब्रिटिशर्स के आने के बाद ये सारी चीजें चेंज हो गई, और ब्रिटिशर्स ने इसका एक नाम दे दिया पुअर मैन्स टिम्बर का। तो ये एक मतलब एज अ स्टेटस सिंबल फिर बैम्बू को देखने लगे लोग। तो इसलिए अभी तक बैम्बू मतलब उसी स्टेटस सिंबल में है जिसको हम लोगों को चेंज करना है। तो मियांजी इज ऑल अबाउट दिस, कि मतलब बैम्बू से हम एस्थेटिक बना सकते हैं, हम अपना लाइफस्टाइल चेंज कर सकते हैं। मतलब एक अच्छा लाइफस्टाइल, एक अच्छा इंटीरियर बिल्कुल मिल सकता है बैम्बू से, और मतलब सस्टेनेबल होने के बावजूद।
I think that's a very important point that you bring up, because today bamboo, when you look at bamboo furniture, ज़्यादातर लोग appreciate तो कर रहे हैं। I think धीरे धीरे उसकी value बढ़ती जा रही है, but now it's looked at as vintage. If you find vintage bamboo furniture, it has value. But currently, if people are making bamboo furniture, it's not as credited as, let's say, teak, right?
Yes.
Everyone's looking at Burma teak and this teak and that teak, and everyone's kind of, that has that sort of value and solidity to it. But I think it's also because people don't understand the credibility that bamboo itself as a material that it holds. And it's incredible that you're doing this kind of work. And I know that you work with a small team. You don't have a very vast team, but you've got big ambitions and you've got great plans. So I want you to tell us a little bit more about your interaction with government agencies and how you set up your facility in Satna. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I would like to first tell about said in the beginning कि मतलब बैम्बू को अभी तक जैसे हम लोग जिस तरह से हमने यूज नहीं किया, तो उसको लेकर मैं कुछ थोड़ा बोलना चाहूंगा कि अभी तक हमने उस तरह की टेक्नोलॉजी भी मतलब वी हैवंट डेवलप्ड दैट काइंड ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी एज ऑफ नाउ इन बैम्बू। पर वुड में काफी टेक्नोलॉजिकल मशीन्स वगैरह, काफी ज्यादा रिसर्च वगैरह हो चुका है, पर बैम्बू में नहीं हुआ है अभी तक। ये भी एक रीजन है जो मतलब बैम्बू में डिजाइन्स जो निकल के नहीं आ रहे हैं, जो नए डिजाइन्स नहीं निकल के आ रहे हैं, ये एक रीजन है। मतलब टेक्नोलॉजिकल वे ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ये बैम्बू में नहीं है, तो ये भी एक रीजन है इस चीज का। और and so that's the reason why I started tweaking machines. जो currently wood में जो machines है उसको मैंने tweak करना शुरू किया। तो yes, so I was doing a lot of research in this, but at that moment also government was trying to, I mean, push bamboo as a material in furniture and also in construction. So they there's one policy called Bamboo Mission, and they invested like 1,200 crore rupees onto this to promote bamboo as a material.
When
So
was that?
since this was in 2016 or 17.
Okay. Fairly
Yeah.
recently.
Yes. नॉर्थ ईस्ट को और मतलब नॉर्थ ईस्ट में भी और लोगों को एम्प्लॉयमेंट देने के लिए, और नॉर्थ ईस्ट में थोड़ा सा उनका मतलब जीडीपी ग्रोथ इन टर्म्स ऑफ ये बैम्बू को लेकर कैसे ग्रो किया जाए, तो ये इनका पॉलिसी का कुछ ये थे पॉइंट्स थे. तो मुझे लगा कि आई एम डूइंग अ लॉट ऑफ रिसर्च इन दिस मटेरियल, तो मेरे पास इतनी फंडिंग्स क्यों नहीं है, क्योंकि मैंने मशीन्स काफ़ी ट्वीक कर रहा था मैं, और मशीन्स को और डेवलप कर रहा था, तो मेरे पास फंडिंग होनी चाहिए थी ताकि मतलब लोग और ज़्यादा इसमें बैम्बू एज अ मटेरियल लेकर इसमें और ज़्यादा एक्सप्लोर कर पाए. So what I did was I started finding people and connect and try to connect with them ताकि मुझे फाइनेंशियली ये मतलब टेक्नोलॉजी इन टर्म्स ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजिकल वे वो हेल्प कर पाए. तो that's when this bamboo mission came into being and we connected with them. तो we connected with Madhya Pradesh state government और मध्य प्रदेश स्टेट बैम्बू मिशन. तो उन दोनों के साथ कोलैबोरेट करके we started a small common facility center at Satna, and और वहीं से ही सारी चीज़ें मतलब मैन्युफैक्चरिंग और जो नए मशीन्स बैम्बू के वहाँ से सारे शुरू हो गए.
आपके पास कोई फोटोग्राफ्स हैं आपके फैसिलिटी की सतना में?
I don't have photographs right now for of my workshop, but
okay,
मैं कुछ photographs दिखा सकता हूँ जो लोग काम कर रहे हैं.
बिल्कुल.
Just
and also tell us about your team, because I know that you're working with a lot of people who've been trained in the traditional craft of working with bamboo, but what you make is very different, right? And your approach to your products and your furniture is very contemporary. So there is that sort of there's an intersection of two different ideas. How did you deal with that?
Yeah, so even the my factory is strategically placed. It's in Satna. It's in MP actually. और MP जो है मतलब इंडिया का सेकंड लार्जेस्ट बैम्बू प्रोड्यूसर है. और ये अभी नहीं अभी इसका बैम्बू का प्रोडक्शन नहीं हो रहा है, ये बहुत पहले से हो रही है. ये प्रोडक्शन मतलब बैम्बू का ग्रोथ बहुत पहले से हो रही है, ये अभी से नहीं हो रहा है. तो जाहिर सी बात है कि वहाँ के मतलब वहाँ पे आर्टिसंस भी आपको ज्यादा मिलेंगे बांस में काम करने वाले. तो पर अभी वो फिलहाल नहीं कर रहे हैं क्योंकि बैम्बू के प्रोडक्ट्स को खरीदता नहीं है, और खरीदता भी है तो उतना उसको उनकी वैल्यू नहीं मिलती है. ठीक है, तो स्ट्रैटेजिकली ये वहाँ पे प्लेस्ड होने का एक अच्छा पॉइंट है. तो व्हाट आई एम डूइंग करंटली, देयर इज अ कम्युनिटी कॉल्ड बसोर who makes I mean lot of stuff in bamboo. बस उनको डिजाइन में एक हेल्प चाहिए, और मतलब फास्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैसा हो और स्टैंडर्डाइज कैसे हो प्रोडक्ट्स का, वो सारी चीजें चाहिए. तो उनसे कनेक्ट होकर और उनके ट्रेनिंग देकर आई हैव स्टार्टेड विद दिस. So there's the Lotus tool. So one of our artisan is working on this.
And also explain to us, Shashank, because bamboo sections are obviously they're circular, right? And
yes,
they're not very large sections. So when you harvest wood, you get large logs and then you can cut sections out of it.
Yes.
But bamboo has a different challenge. So I believe you're actually flattening out the sections in order to make the furniture.
Yes. So what we do is we generally divide that circular section into, let's say, 6 parts or 8 parts. That depends upon the width of the section what we want. Then there's a machine. It's called four planer machine, 4-side planer machine. तो वो एक सेक्शन उस 4-side planer में जाके then you'll get a longer cubical section out of it. उस sections को what we do is we bend it. और ऐसे ही सारे हमारे फर्नीचर मिलता है. So in this picture you can see we are bending a longer rectangular section
right.
of bamboo.
And that itself has to be a challenge, right? Because you're not working, I mean, you're working with smaller sections, you're working with curved sections. You have to
Yes,
first flatten and then start to shape it. And of
yes.
course, so all these challenges are being faced by you. I'm sure you would have learned a lot from the artisans that you're working with, as much as they learned from you. So what was that exchange like when you started?
uh, yeah, so what I saw there that uh, उनकी जो वीविंग करने की टेक्निक है वो, एंड दे हैव अ लॉट ऑफ वीविंग टेक्निक्स, तो ये सारी चीजें मुझे काफी इंस्पायर करती थी. मतलब दे हैव लाइक एटलीस्ट 6 to 7 डिफरेंट वीविंग टेक्निक्स. तो ये सारी चीजें मुझे लगा कि ये सारी टेक्निक को व्हाई कांट आई कॉन्टेम्पराइज इट, और इनको मैं प्रोडक्ट में क्यों नहीं यूज कर सकता हूँ. तो ये टेक्निक्स मैंने उनसे लिया और मैंने उनको स्टैंडर्डाइज करने का तरीका सिखाया. तो ये मतलब एक्सचेंज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन काफी हेल्पफुल रहा. और एंड मतलब मियांजी के प्रोडक्ट्स उसके बाय प्रोडक्ट्स हैं.
और उनको जब आपको सिखाना पड़ा कि ये कंटेम्पररी डिजाइन है, कंटेम्पररी प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, ट्रेडिशनल, लेकिन ट्रेडिशनल मेथड से बनते हैं. So was that a challenge, or did they take it easily and they said, okay, we'll take this
No,
up and we'll work with it?
Initially it was because they weren't able to produce that kind of quality, I mean, मेरा मतलब मुझे ये बिल्कुल क्लियर था कि जो भी हम प्रोडक्ट बनाएंगे मियांजी से, उसकी क्वालिटी कंपेरेबल होने चाहिए प्लास्टिक के प्रोडक्ट्स के, जो करंटली मतलब अभी प्लास्टिक के प्रोडक्ट्स अगर आप देखोगे और पहले के प्लास्टिक के प्रोडक्ट्स अगर कंपेयर करोगे तो क्वालिटी में काफी डिफरेंस थी. तो अभी क्वालिटी बहुत बेहतरीन आ गई है, और इवन इन लो कॉस्ट. मतलब आप कुछ कम कॉस्ट में भी प्रोडक्ट आप खरीदते हो, तो प्लास्टिक के प्रोडक्ट खरीदते हो तो उसकी क्वालिटी बहुत अच्छी होती है अभी. तो I just wanted to make sure कि वो क्वालिटी से कंपेरेबल हो हमारे प्रोडक्ट्स. तो पर ये चीज जो वहाँ पे आर्टिसंस थे उनको समझ में नहीं आ रही थी शुरू में. तो मुझे काफी मतलब रिगरस ट्रेनिंग देनी पड़ी. तो आई वाज देयर लाइक फॉर 2-3 months in fact. तो ये धीरे धीरे उनका आई बनता गया इसमें कि ओके, इस क्वालिटी के नीचे हमारा प्रोडक्ट नहीं जाएगा. तो शुरू में काफी लॉसेस हुए क्वालिटी को लेकर, पर अभी I mean the quality is really very good and it's comparable to the plastic products what are available in market.
But I think that's also very critical, right? Because and that is one area where handicrafts starts to lose out, and crafts and this artisan industry starts to lose out, because a lot of people and the consumer starts to believe that when you have an industrialized process, when you have something that's machine made or it's made by bigger brands in bigger facilities, there is a certain quality control where and very often you are unable to provide that when you're making products by hand. And especially if you intend for your company to go global and you want to compete in an international market, not even forget international, even at a national market, if you want to make your products commercially viable, then you have to cater to that quality that the consumer demands.
Yes. तो मतलब इस बात में मैं ये बोलना चाहूंगा कि क्या हो रहा था, क्वालिटी और स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन, इसमें बहुत मतलब शुरू में बहुत डिफिकल्टी फेस करना पड़ा हम लोगों को, मतलब मुझे भी और आर्टिसंस को भी, क्योंकि उस तरह की क्वालिटी शुरू में नहीं मिल रही थी. मतलब मैं कितना भी उनको ट्रेन कर लूं वो क्वालिटी नहीं मिल रही थी. तो what we started doing is we started making molds. और molds बनाने के बाद वो स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन आने लग गया, उस तरह का स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन आने लग गया और प्रोडक्शन भी काफी फास्ट हो गई. तो अभी हम लोग जो जितने भी चीजें प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं वो सारे मोल्ड से प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं, ताकि एक पीस दूसरे पीस में इजीली फिट हो जाए. शुरू में क्या होता था कि एक पीस अगर मतलब लेट्स से if I'm talking about the butterfly chair, if I'm making the leg of that butterfly chair, then that leg is will not get fixed to another one while you are assembling, क्योंकि स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन नहीं था उस टाइम में, मतलब
and
शुरू में.
तो you're not making one piece at a time, you're making multiple pieces as well.
Right. तो मतलब ऐसा होना चाहिए कि एक पीस अगर बन रहा है, let's say I'm doing assembly, तो एक का बैक रेस्ट किसी और के बैक रेस्ट में फिट होना ही चाहिए. तो ये चीज़ नहीं हो रही थी उस टाइम, एंड इट वाज रियली डिफिकल्ट टू वर्क विथ नेचुरल मटेरियल लाइक दिस. तो आई स्टार्टेड मेकिंग मोल्ड्स, और कुछ कुछ चीज़ें मशीनिंग करने लग गए, CNC करने लग गए. एंड देयर आर फ्यू मोर आइडियाज विथ मी करंटली जो मैं आगे फ्यूचर में लाने वाला हूँ. वी आर एट द स्टेज ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन 4.0, जहाँ पे ऑटोमेशन हो रहे हैं और मतलब चीज़ें अपने आप प्रोडक्शन की जा रही हैं. तो ये चीज़ बैम्बू में बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, पर तो हम लोग इन चीज़ों को लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं जो फ्यूचर में आएंगे. तो मतलब ये सारे मैं कहूँगा कि जो मोल्ड्स वगैरह बनाए, ये काफ़ी हेल्प किया मतलब आर्टिसंस को. उनको ज़्यादा मतलब ट्रेनिंग टाइम उनका लेस हो गया, उनको कम ट्रेन करना, ज़्यादा स्किल नहीं चाहिए था आर्टिसंस को काम करने के लिए. मतलब आफ्टर producing molds and jigs.
So tell me, I was going to ask you about technology as well, right? Like, so how much technology have you introduced into the process? Because initially bamboo processing was all handmade. It was all handicraft. So
Yes.
now you said that you started making molds, you've made your own customized production equipment, but how dependent are you on technology? Or would you want to explore that further? Like you said, you're looking at industrialization 4.0, maybe robotics, but then does that take away from people and the skill that they bring to the process?
Yes. See, first of all, I would like to say that I'm very much tech freak. So even my thesis when I was in IDC, it was all about everything was about robotics and all. मतलब मैंने एक बहुत इंटरेक्टिव फसाड डिजाइन किया था उस टाइम, जिसमें काफी सारे सेंसर्स लगे थे. तो मतलब टेक्नोलॉजी में तो मुझे काफी ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट है. तो अभी जो मैंने करंटली जितने भी टेक्निक्स अभी हम लोग जो यूज कर रहे हैं, इवन इन बेंडिंग में, तो बेंडिंग में हम लोग अभी काफी मोटे सेक्शंस को भी बेंड कर सकते हैं. आप इतने मोटे सेक्शंस को कहीं और आप देखोगे नहीं, मतलब जिस तरह से हम बेंड कर रहे हैं सेक्शंस को. इवन वी आर एक्सप्लोरिंग ऑन द सर्कुलर सेक्शंस एज वेल. पर अभी मैं उसमें काम कर रहा हूँ, पर अभी उसके प्रोडक्ट्स बने नहीं है. पर शायद अगर सक्सेस रहा तो आगे प्रोडक्ट्स भी आएंगे. तो वी आर वेरी मच डिपेंडेंट अबाउट टेक्नोलॉजी, और आगे काफी एक्सप्लोर होने वाला है इस मतलब बैम्बू के मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वे में. तो क्वालिटी ऑब्वियसली और बेटर होगा, स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन और भी मतलब और बेटर होगा स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन, और प्रोडक्शन और फास्ट होगा. जब प्रोडक्शन फास्ट होंगी तो प्राइसेस भी धीरे 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 कम होंगी.
Right, of course. Which actually brings me, and we're getting a lot of comments and a lot of questions from Instagram, from Facebook, and on Zoom. And I was going to talk about this. Someone's also asked, how do the products that we are making in India, how do they compare to products that you get abroad, especially in Southeast Asia? There's a lot of bamboo that's growing in Southeast Asia, right?
Yes.
And so whether it's Vietnam or Malaysia and these kind of countries, and they make a lot of products using bamboo. We have a lot of bamboo that's growing in India as well. And actually my question is twofold. One is that given that amount of bamboo that is growing in India, do you think that it's an untapped resource? Because the Northeast states are growing a lot of bamboo, but they don't seem to be doing much out of that. Of course, Madhya Pradesh and the central belt is growing a lot of bamboo. We've got one facility that you've talked about. So what is happening with just the sheer quantities that are growing in the country and the potential that we are sitting on, which is being untapped? And secondly, where are we compared to what is happening in these other countries like Vietnam and other Southeast Asian countries?
So first of all, I would like to talk about the point A, what you said. तो मतलब बैम्बू तो abundantly available है इंडिया में, ठीक है. फिर से नॉर्थ ईस्ट और झारखंड में भी है, उड़ीसा में भी, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट सारे रीजन, इवन महाराष्ट्र एंड उत्तराखंड, ऑलमोस्ट सारे रीजन में अवेलेबल है. इवन आर्टिसंस भी अवेलेबल है. तो ये काफी बड़ा रिसोर्स है हमारे पास, पर इसको टैप बिल्कुल भी नहीं किया गया है. रीजन ये क्योंकि हमारे पास हम डिजाइनर्स नहीं कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं उनके संग, हम इनिशिएट नहीं कर रहे हैं. इवन नॉर्थ ईस्ट इतना बड़ा रीजन है, पर वहाँ भी मुझे अभी तक ऐसा कुछ लगा नहीं कि डिजाइन वे में कुछ ग्रो कर रहा है. कंटेम्प्रेरी प्रोडक्ट्स में ऐसा कुछ ग्रो कर रहा है। अभी फिलहाल कुछ चीजें शुरू हुई हैं, तो शायद फ्यूचर में मुझे लगता है बेटर हो ये चीजें, पर देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ स्कोप इन दिस एक्चुअली। और and if you'll compare it with let's say Southeast Asia, तो वहाँ पे बैम्बू पे काफी सालों से काम हो रही है, तो उनका जो स्ट्रेटेजी है, इवन द जो सिस्टम डिजाइन है, ये काफी डेवलप्ड है। ये ऑलरेडी इनका मॉड्यूल्स बन चुका है और ये काफी एक्सप्लोर कर चुके हैं। तो वो एक्सप्लोरेशन मुझे लगता है इंडिया में अभी जरूरत है, और इंडिया बैम्बू को लेकर जरूर आगे जाएगा अगर इस तरह का हम कुछ एक्सप्लोर कर लें in terms of system, in terms of making the ecosystem out of it.
So basically what you're saying that we've kind of been at a disadvantage because we were also working with bamboo earlier, but then we kind of hit a roadblock and we came to a disadvantage because it became the poor man's timber, is in a way
Yes.
what you're saying.
Yes.
But there is a lot of potential, yes, and there is a lot that can be done. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that. I know, we've all kind of gone through this for the last more than 5 months. We've all been sitting at home and we've all been affected in various ways. And we know for a fact that our small scale industries have been affected a lot. Our craftspeople and our artisans have been affected very directly. How have you coped, or how has Mianzi coped, and your team? How have you been affected in this last 5 months of more or less a complete shutdown?
Yeah, even we were scared out of this pandemic, मतलब मुझे लगा था कि अभी तो कंपनी शुरू की है 2 साल में, अभी मतलब इतना बड़ा लॉस कैसे झेलेंगे, क्योंकि शुरू में कंपनी थोड़ा लॉस में ही होता है कि काफी रिसर्च में पैसा फाइनेंसेस चले गए होते हैं, राइट। तो मतलब आई वाज रियली स्केयर्ड अबाउट इट। देन मतलब धीरे धीरे एंड इवन पता चला कि सेल्स हमारे पैंडेमिक के सिचुएशन में सेल्स हमारे बढ़ गए, तो और इवन ऑर्डर ज्यादा बढ़ गए थे।
Not many people can say that, Shashank.
नहीं,
so that's a great thing.
मतलब I don't know कि ये किस रीजन से हुआ। मे बी शायद पैंडेमिक नहीं होता तो सेल्स और ज्यादा बढ़ते, मुझे नहीं पता। अभी शायद कम सेल्स बढ़े, मुझे इतना आइडिया नहीं है, पर सेल्स बढ़े। तो मुझे इनफैक्ट और ज्यादा आर्टिसंस को हायर करना पड़ा, उनका इंक्रीमेंट करना पड़ा। तो मतलब एक्चुअल में सारे लोग खुश हो रहे थे, जहाँ पे लोगों को ऑफिस से निकाला जा रहा था, यहाँ पे लोगों को जॉब मिल रहा था और इंक्रीमेंट भी मिल रही थी। तो अभी तक तो फिलहाल काफी सही, मतलब बढ़िया चल रहा है। फ्यूचर में देखते हैं कैसा होगा, फिंगर क्रॉस्ड।
So that's actually absolutely fabulous that जहाँ पर लोगों की नौकरियां जा रही हैं, यहाँ पर you're hiring people and you're actually supporting their livelihood, and you've been able to work throrough this process.
And one more good thing what happened is हमने बहुत सारे जिग्स डेवलप किए थे। तो वो जिग्स हम क्या करते थे कि आर्टिसंस को दे देते थे, वो घर जाके काम करके ले आते थे। तो ये बहुत अच्छी चीज हो गई थी कि लोग घर से ही काम कर रहे हैं ये जिग वगैरह लेके जाके, और बस वही होता था, उनको आने के बाद क्वालिटी चेक करवाना पड़ता था।
So आपके लिए ये, because I know that you're sitting in Delhi, your facilities in Satna, तो ये जो remotely जो आप काम कर रहे हैं, that's working out for you?
Yes. Generally कैसे करता हूँ मैं कि एक जैसे कोई मेथोडोलॉजी है किसी प्रोडक्शन का, तो वो मेथोडोलॉजी मैं उनको जाके ट्रेन कर देता हूँ और वो रिपीट होता है। मतलब लेट्स से इफ आई टॉक अबाउट डियर टेबल एंड बटरफ्लाई चेयर, तो दोनों सेम मेथोडोलॉजी पे सेम आर्किटेक्चर में बना हुआ है, तो ज्यादा कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है। लेट्स से कि मुझे कोई नया मेथड से कोई प्रोडक्शन चीज लानी है, तो मुझे विजिट करना पड़ता है और वो ट्रेनिंग फिर से मुझे देनी पड़ती है। तो अभी तक फिलहाल ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं है। मतलब जितने भी नए तरह के टेक्निक्स या मेथोडोलॉजी जनरेट किया हूँ, मैं जाकर उनको पर्सनली ट्रेनिंग देकर आ जाता हूँ, तो ऐसे कोई बड़ी प्रॉब्लमेटिक सिचुएशन क्रिएट नहीं हुई।
So that's interesting because that also shows that अगर आप दिल्ली में बैठकर सतना की facility manage कर सकते हैं, इसका मतलब आप और भी facilities establish कर सकते हैं, right, in different parts of the country. So
right.
what is the future of Mianzi? Are you looking at making multiple centers and establishing multiple sort of facilities? How do you intend to grow the business?
See, the main point of staying in Delhi is you'll I mean the resources, you'll get all the resources. Let's say if I'll talk about metal and all, even the fabric, क्योंकि सिर्फ बैम्बू अलोन मैं बैम्बू को लेकर नहीं जा सकता हूँ आगे. बैम्बू को मतलब बैम्बू को आगे लेकर जाने के लिए उसको किसी और मटेरियल के साथ मिक्स करना पड़ेगा. लेट्स से मेटल या फैब्रिक किसी और इन चीजों के साथ मिक्सअप करना पड़ेगा. तो ये सारी चीजें दिल्ली में बहुत आसानी से मिल जाती हैं. तो एक स्ट्रैटेजिक पॉइंट ये भी है कि मुझे लेट्स से मैं कोई चीजें एक्सप्लोर करता हूँ या मुझे कोई नया प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन करना पड़ता है, तो आई स्टार्टेड विद इन माय फ्लैट इटसेल्फ, जहाँ पे मेरा एक छोटा सा वर्कशॉप है, तो मैं वहीं से शुरू कर देता हूँ और ये फिर रेप्लिकेट होता है मेरे प्रोडक्शन हाउस में जाके. तो वहाँ पे मेरे फ्लैट में मैं सारे टेस्टिंग कर लेता हूँ, सारे जो भी रॉ मटेरियल्स, लेट्स से मेटल मुझे कहीं चाहिए तो वो फैब्रिकेट दिल्ली में बहुत आसानी से हो जाती है. दैट्स द रीजन कि दिल्ली में रहना काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है और यहाँ से हैंडल करना इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द सेकेंड पॉइंट, फ्यूचर मियांजी का. तो what I'm currently envisioning is I have already made a module which is there in Satna in Madhya Pradesh. तो उस तरह के मॉड्यूल्स मैं और डेवलप करना चाहता हूँ ऑल ओवर इंडिया. लेट्स से कि मतलब और पूरे इंडिया में अलग अलग जगह में अलग अलग तरह के आर्टिसंस हैं और वो आर्टिसंस एक पर्टिकुलर स्किल में बहुत अच्छे हैं. तो मैं उन स्किल्स को लेकर लेट्स से इफ आई वांट टू मेक अ टेबल, तो टेबल में कंपोनेंट्स हो गए टेबल का टॉप और टेबल के लेग्स. तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि वो कोई एक सर्टेन रीजन ऑफ इंडिया में बने और टेबल का टॉप एक सर्टेन रीजन ऑफ इंडिया में बने, वो एक जगह आकर असेंबल हो और फिर वो वहाँ पे वर्ल्ड वाइड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो. तो इस तरह के मैं मॉड्यूल्स अलग अलग जगह में क्रिएट करना चाहता हूँ. लेट्स से नॉर्थ ईस्ट में वीविंग काफी अच्छी है, बहुत अच्छे मतलब बहुत स्किलफुल वे में वो वीविंग करते हैं. तो मैं वीविंग के कुछ प्रोडक्ट में वहाँ पे बनाऊंगा और फिर उसमें जो कंपोनेंट्स लगते हैं वो सेंट्रल इंडिया में आके असेंबल हो सकता है और फिर वर्ल्ड वाइड और डोमेस्टिकली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो सकता है. तो दैट्स व्हाट आई एम envisioning currently.
That's fabulous, because then you can actually have, like I said, you can have multiple setups across the country and you can actually take advantage of local skills, like you said, right? Northeast में जब weaving ज़्यादा intricately हो रही है, skillful हो रही है, then you can bring those products to a centralized assembly area and do that. And I think very rightly and interestingly so, you said that you can collaborate with different people. And actually we have somebody who has asked this question. I'm just going to try picking up. Someone said that would you be open to collaborating with designers and design brands?
Yes, absolutely. जैसे कि मैंने बोला, मतलब बैम्बू एज अ मटेरियल अलोन में नहीं लेकर जा सकता बैम्बू को आगे. सो मतलब आप हमारे जितने भी प्रोडक्ट्स आप देखोगे, मेटल या फैब्रिक मिक्स मैच करके मैं ट्राई करता हूँ कि नए नए प्रोडक्ट्स जनरेट करूँ. तो that will be, I mean, absolutely an opportunity for us कि डिजाइनर्स के साथ मिलकर हम लोग और भी कुछ नया क्रिएट कर सकेंगे. even engineers as well. और टेक्नोलॉजी भी, मतलब ऑटोमेशन में मैं बिल्कुल जाना चाहता हूँ. एंड वी आर करंटली researching on making bamboo bicycles. तो आपने current bicycle, if I want to,
please, yeah, I was just going to say, please show us some of your products because they're absolutely stunning. And for all those people who've joined us, who are designers, who are technologists, who are engineers, please reach out to Shashank, because it's actually quite wonderful to be able to kind of come together and collaborate and bring different skills to the table and to see what that can produce at the end of the day. My goodness.
Yeah, so
this is you should show your first cycle and then you should show this, so that, you know, for people who missed out on the first cycle, this is, you've come a long way, Shashank.
Yeah, just give me a minute. I'll share that as well. I'm also sharing the cycle which I made in between. This is the third version what I've shared currently, what you were seeing previously.
Huh. And this is over a span of how many years?
From 2014 till 20.
So that's actually not long, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, this was my second version. I'll show you my first bicycle. So this was my first bicycle, where I used to commute to my office from my home.
That's
This one.
fascinating.
And this was the next version made out of bamboo. Isme sections, what you can see in between this, those are metal.
Okay.
So I wanted to reduce, more metal. So that's so this.
So all your bends and joints are in metal.
Yes. So this was the answer to that. मतलब और मैं metal कम करके bamboo कितना increase कर सकता हूँ. And an electric version of this bicycle we are working on currently.
That's fascinating.
And there's a light indicator in front of it. I'll show you if I'll have glowing. Yeah, this is how it glows, the front view of it. Yeah,
it's absolutely beautiful. Shashank, show us some more photographs of your products, especially the ones where, like with the cycle, that you've integrated bamboo and steel and metal. Do you have others where you're talking about, different sort of, let's say, fabric or something else?
Yeah, just.
So I would encourage everyone to actually go onto the Mianzi website and their Instagram handle as well to see some of their products. They are available for sale on their website. They are shipping at this point through our partial lockdown as well. Shashank, are you shipping globally or just pan-India?
We are shipping globally as well, but through Etsy.
Okay.
But for pan-India, you can order from our website.
Directly from you. Great.
Yes. Yeah. So these are the lamps. So in these lamps, we are using fabric. As I said you कि मैंने lighting design company में भी पहले काम किया है, तो lighting is something which interests me a lot. So by putting fabric onto it, this actually this diffuses the light और glare वो वगैरह कम हो जाता है. So there's the lotus lamp what you are seeing here, and this the opium which is being made, opium lamp. This is the baskets what we are currently producing. Yeah, there's the deer table, और इसमें brass or bamboo का integration. So the members what you see here are in brass, even the shoes. And this is the mocha chair. इसमें भी metal काफी है. And this is the parts of butterfly chair. And
so I was actually coming to this. So do these come flat packed and they have to be assembled?
Yes. So this comes like this in this small box, and assembly is pretty easy. It will hardly take like 10 minutes to assemble. तो मतलब एक मेजर पॉइंट हमारा ये भी है कि मतलब फर्नीचर फ्लैट पैक होना काफ़ी इम्पोर्टेंट बन जाता है, बिकॉज शिपिंग में काफ़ी चार्जेस लग जाते हैं. इवन अभी कोविड-19 में तो और भी ज़्यादा शिपिंग चार्जेस बहुत ज़्यादा इंक्रीज हो गए हैं. तो मतलब फ्लैट पैक होने की वजह से शिपिंग कॉस्ट काफ़ी कम हो जा रहा है. इवन मतलब कार्बन प्रिंट भी काफ़ी घट रहा है क्योंकि शिपिंग में वॉल्यूम कम हो रहा है.
Actually, it's an interesting thing. This whole idea of shipping and packing. I was having a conversation with somebody recently, and they said that I think a kilo of salt, if you just buy like a packet of salt for 1 kilo of salt is for 19 rupees, but if you buy the shaker, the catch table salt is for
Yeah.
some 30 rupees or something like that.
Mm.
And they said, why the difference in pricing? And so for me, the answer was that because of the packaging, right? The salt
Right.
might be the same thing, but the amount of effort and facility that goes into making that plastic bottle and every perforation on the dhakkan, I mean, all of that is what actually costs at the end of the day. It's not the salt.
Right. Even the water bottles what you get, मतलब
Exactly.
पानी का तो कुछ खर्चा नहीं है. Because I was working as an industrial designer, and I mean mostly the products were out of plastic. तो मुझे ये सारी चीजें थोड़ी पता है कि कैसे मतलब कितने problems हैं इन सारे products में, मतलब especially about water bottles.
So I'm actually going to, Shashank, I'm going to take this opportunity to pull up some of the questions that
Yes,
we've got
please
over
do.
here. Are you collaborating with designers? And yes, so Shashank said that please feel free to contact him. Somebody actually wants your number. So what we're going to do is, instead of flashing it publicly right now on social media and Zoom, we would recommend, and Shashank, I'm taking the liberty of offering your social media handles. So please get in touch with him
Please.
on
Yes.
Mianzi Global. And I'm sure that they will get back to you. Someone is asking, PU_5 on Instagram is asking, how can bamboo be used in vernacular architecture?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you'll get a lot of examples, and people are doing in Bali and Colombia as well. So, I mean, it's vernacular architecture. I mean, the same bamboo, what they grow there, they're using those. Even in India, we can do that, but I mean, designers and architects they need to come forward for this.
So we're hoping that through this talk, people get a little more encouraged to, start looking at bamboo differently and start exploring it as an option, more than just scaffoldings in architecture and more than vintage products in product design.
I mean, there's a wall, Mrinalini, कि मतलब वो वॉल क्या है, वो पुरानी इमेजेस जो मतलब इतने सालों से हम बनाते आ रहे हैं, वो पुरानी इमेजेस मतलब वो पुराने प्रोडक्ट्स बैम्बू को लेकर, पर वैसा जरूरी नहीं है हम वैसा प्रोडक्ट बनाएं. मतलब we can definitely come something really innovative out of it.
Completely.
Yes, तो मतलब जब ये वॉल ब्रेक हो जाएगा तब शायद लोग आने लगेंगे और जुड़ने लगेंगे. तो we need to think beyond that wall actually.
And I think, Shashank, but I have to congratulate you because I feel that you're doing that, right? You're setting example and you're showing the world that bamboo doesn't necessarily mean all your curvy lines and, how we always refer to it as wicker furniture and, woven cane and things like that. It can be used differently. It can be approached differently. You can still get a very contemporary aesthetic out of it. And this is an opportunity where people can collaborate with you to develop that further and take it to the next level. So I have to congratulate you and your brand for doing that, and not just not just in India, but taking it global. And in fact, it would be interesting to talk, because we have a lot of young entrepreneurs who join us for this talk. And would you have any words of advice for them in terms of how to take a brand that starts off in your basement or in your garage or in your flat, and at what point do you take that leap of faith and do you say that, okay, I'm actually going to go and put this out into the commercial market, and then the next step would be that I'm going to go global? At what point do you decide to do that? So I'm sure you'd have something to share with them.
I think let's say if you are doing something, or let's say if you or मतलब करते करते if you failed like a couple of times, तो वहाँ पे give up नहीं कर देना चाहिए शुरू में फिलहाल तो. Then मतलब being consistent is a major point actually. मतलब I for bending, let's say if I'll talk about the furniture what I'm making currently, bending में मैं काफी fail हुआ bending करते करते. मतलब it took me like years to come up with a बेंडिंग टेक्निक जो मतलब कभी फेल ना हो। तो करंटली अभी बेंडिंग कभी हमारा फेल नहीं होता है, मतलब लेट्स से इफ आई एम डूइंग 100 बेंडिंग्स तो एक आध फेल हो जाता है, पर मैंने कभी इस चीज में गिव अप नहीं की। तो शायद ये चीज मतलब अभी तक तो आगे हम लोग को लेकर जा रहा है। तो मतलब जस्ट टू हैव पेशेंस कि धीरे धीरे शायद ये बढ़ेगा। तो ये चीज होनी काफी जरूरी है मुझे लगता है, if I want to give advice to young entrepreneurs.
So don't give up, keep faith and keep working at it.
Yes, just believe on yourself और करते रहो.
So I think we have a couple of minutes in case anybody wants to ask any more questions or share any comments. Please share them with us, send them to us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Zoom. Till then, Shashank, I would like for you to just kind of outline the process for us in terms of the plantation of bamboo in India. How do you differentiate between, like I think for a lot of us, or for a lot of lay people, bamboo is seen in very slotted terms, right? Either it's grown domestically in pots and plants, or you see it used as scaffolding in a lot of construction sites, or you see it used in older vintage sort of earlier products, but not contemporary. But if you can just kind of outline the process in terms of plantation, in terms of how it's grown, how is it industrialized, and what is the process in that?
See, there are like more than 150 species of bamboo, I mean all over the world. और इंडिया में शायद मुझे उतना नॉलेज नहीं है, शायद 40 स्पीशीज के अराउंड अवेलेबल है, and every species has a different character. Let's say if I'll talk about the lamps what we are currently producing, they are produced out of different kind of species. और जो हम फर्नीचर में यूज कर रहे हैं वो अलग स्पीशीज हम यूज कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। तो स्पीशीज को ले मतलब इट स्टार्ट्स एक्चुअली फ्रॉम स्पीशीज का सिलेक्शन, ठीक है। एंड इवन हार्वेस्टिंग में भी काफी ध्यान देना पड़ता है, क्योंकि एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम में भी ही हार्वेस्ट किया जाता है। मैंने काफी रिसर्चेस में ये भी पढ़ा है कि बैम्बू को फुल मून के टाइम में हार्वेस्ट करना चाहिए। मतलब उसका एक रीजन ये है कि फुल मून के टाइम में ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स ज्यादा होता है, तो स्टार्च का पुल ज्यादा होता है उसमें। तो स्टार्च जब ज्यादा होगा शायद, मतलब तो ये सारे काफी रिसर्चेस है जो मैं इसमें अगर बोलते रहूंगा तो बोलते ही चले जाऊंगा, ठीक है। तो मुझे थोड़ा शॉर्ट कर देना चाहिए इसको। तो हार्वेस्टिंग से फिर स्पीशीज लेने के बाद उसको ट्रीट करना। तो ट्रीट के टाइम में वी यूजुअली एयर ड्राई करते हैं लाइक फॉर 45 days। 45 days एयर ड्राई करने के बाद वी ट्रीट इट विद बोरिक बोरैक्स इसलिए ट्रीट करते हैं, एंड देयर आर नेचुरल अवेलेबल सॉल्ट्स। कोई केमिकल मतलब आर्टिफिशियल केमिकल सॉल्ट नहीं है, नेचुरली अवेलेबल है। और बोरिक बोरैक्स से इसलिए ट्रीट करते हैं क्योंकि वो टर्माइट और इससे बचाता है, क्योंकि स्टार्च का काफ़ी ज़्यादा परसेंटेज होता है बैम्बू में, तो वो उसको थोड़ा सा इंटॉक्सिकेट करने के लिए सॉल्ट में मिलाकर। देन after boric borax, then after again drying it for like 2 weeks, उसके बाद it's ready for the use for furniture and living as well.
Okay, that's interesting, because it's interesting to know that the treatment of bamboo is a little different to wood. I mean, you still have to cure it and curate it, but it is a little different. But what's also interesting to know is that it's more renewable, it grows faster, it grows better, it grows stronger. And it's definitely a product that has its own challenges, but it also has a lot of potential. We've got a very interesting question from somebody on Instagram, Ankita Kukreja, who's asking, what are the qualities and requirements from your side if a designer wants to join you? So you're getting applications already.
Yeah, so currently all the designs, what you are seeing in our website is designed by me. And the reason why we are currently not looking for designer in this company, पर future में हो जाएगा, अभी नहीं, मतलब अभी we are still in a phase जो मतलब grow कर रहा है, तो और ज़्यादा grow करने के बाद हमारी family ज़रूर बड़ी होगी मियांजी की, तो मतलब आगे ज़रूर हम लोग काम करेंगे, पर
So, Ankita, no options right now to join for employment, but perhaps looking at internships for both ends. Maybe Shashank would be open for an internship instead. Um, Shashank, my last question to you for the evening is: what kind of ethical responsibility do you hold for yourself in terms of, in terms of, if you're using a material, do you have some sort of a policy? Does Mianzi have a policy for plantation and for regrowing bamboo? Or is some sort of like a replenishment program, perhaps?
मृणाली, बैम्बू ऐसा मटेरियल, मतलब आप जितना उसको कट करते हो ना, उसके रूट्स में उतने ज्यादा बर्डिंग्स और निकलते हैं, तो मतलब इट्स ऑलरेडी ए रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्स, तो मतलब ऐसा ये नहीं है कि मैं अगर कट करता हूँ तो और एक प्लांटेशन की जरूरत होती है, वो अगेन अगर मैं एक कट करता हूँ तो देयर इज लाइक बर्ड्स ऑलरेडी निकलने लगते हैं और वहां पे और ग्रोथ होने लगता है, तो मतलब
so you go scot free. That's one more responsibility that you do not have to take care of when you're working with bamboo.
Yes, that's the reason why, I mean, a lot of farmers are moving towards growing bamboo. I mean, they're shifting, मतलब पहले का wood timber को as a product grow करते थे उनके ये के लिए, पर अभी वो bamboo में shift कर रहे हैं.
That's fabulous.
The reason, yes.
I'm really glad that we've had this conversation today. Unfortunately, we've run over an hour, and I know that we can keep talking. There's just so much to explore, and especially with a material like bamboo that is not explored enough, right? As architects, we talk about sustainable products, we talk about sustainable materials, but we don't necessarily really tap into the potential that we're sitting on. And India is definitely a country that's growing a lot of bamboo, but we're not doing enough with it. But having said that, Shashank, I would like to thank you for doing what you're doing and for making the effort in bringing this to a platform and to a position where other people can actually see it, become more aware of it. And it's not only about providing products and creating a brand for yourself, but I really appreciate, and I speak on behalf of everybody else, that you're actually making the effort of spreading that awareness. And I do hope that our conversation today has reached out to a lot of people, and I'm sure has inspired and motivated people. I apologize to people whose questions we have not been able to pick up. But if you want to continue this conversation, please get in touch with Shashank on their Instagram feed or their website. They have a contact email over there, I believe. But on behalf of 200 million artisans, on behalf of Unplugged Talks, Shashank, I want to thank you so much for joining us this evening, for taking out the time, for having a very honest and candid conversation, and also for doing the beautiful work that you're doing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about me and Mianzi as well. And thank you so much.
No, we're very, very glad, and we do hope to see a lot more products from you. We wish you good luck, and we wish to see many more facilities popping up across the country, and hope you reach a point where you are employing lots and lots of young designers, and not just as interns, but as full-time employees. But all the best for the coming years, and we are certain that we're going to see a lot more from you. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. I want to thank you, the team of 200 million artisans, and Mrinalini, to you as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So on behalf of 200 million artisans, Unplugged Talks, Virendra Vaklu and myself, we thank you all for being here with us today. And we look forward to having you join us next Sunday at 7 p.m. We've got a very interesting speaker who's going to be talking to us about yet another material. So every Sunday this month, We're going to be with Sundays with 200 million artisans. Also like to take this opportunity to thank Siddhant, who is, like you all know, our backbone and makes everything happen. So thank you guys and have a wonderful, well, close of a weekend ahead. Good night.